How you doing, people? It's Paul, just coming through with another video. No, I've not made a video in a while because I've been busy with other things. I'm going through a court case right now to get to see my son, to get to see access to my son, and I'm being blocked to do so by my ex-partner. She's actually blocking me from trying to try and have access to my own son. So I've got all that going on just now. I'm not wanting to speak about that right now. I'm just wanting to talk about a sighting, a very extraordinary sighting that I seen. Very unusual. I'm just going to talk about exactly what happened that day, where I was and what I was doing. So this is the path that I go for a cycle on, and that day I had just decided to get my bike. I just got on my bike, came down here and just cycled along this path the way I usually go, down to Loch Lomond or just along the path. And I was just in the world of my own. You know, I was just thinking about stuff. I wasn't even with it. I was like just in the world of my own, cycling down here. I've looked straight away, bing, I've done that. I looked up at the top of the trees where I saw a transparent tube, and it was barely visible against the sky. You could hardly see it with the naked eye, and it was only visible against the clouds in the background. It's an extraordinary thing, this. You can hear all the traffic going by all of a sudden. You know, it tends to get noisy when you're talking about certain situations in this day and age. You know, the noisemakers and the trackers. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to talk about this because I think it's a really extraordinary sighting. So anyway, my head has just turned and looked up at the top of the trees, okay? And what I saw was a transparent tube, hollow cylinder. It's freaking extraordinary. It was a hollow cylinder, and it was coming from the sky. And it was just above the cloud, just above the tree lines, and I couldn't pick it up with my camera, and so I had to make a recreation of it in the CryEngine. I made an accurate recreation of it in the CryEngine because the camera would not pick it up, and I actually didn't take I had my camera with me at the time, but I didn't take an image of it, and I wish I had of, but I knew it wouldn't have picked it up because it was so faint. It was barely visible against the sky. I mean, I don't even know how the heck I seen this thing. So what it was, and I was just at the right time in the right place. There was a cloud that was just going past at the time, and I could only see the thing because of the cloud. You could not see it against the blue sky. Okay, and let me just, I'm trying to emphasize how faint this thing was. I don't even know how I seen it. I literally do not know how I picked it up with my eyes, right? But I got off my bike, you know, because I got off my bike and I just started looking up, and I was like, what the heck is that? I could clearly see. Well, it was very faintly visible. It was incredibly faint, but it was a definite hollow cylinder coming from the sky and reaching down to the top of the trees, okay? Now, I made a post about this on Twitter, and I said that, I explained that it wasn't any crepuscular rays, okay? That's a posh name for a light beam, right? Let me just explain why. Right, at the time, the sun was on the horizon, just above the horizon on this side of the sky, okay? So the sun was at an angle, okay? So any light beams or any fog beams or light shafts would have had an angle, so they would have been going this way. But this thing was pointing straight up to the sky, or it was coming from the sky because it was just above the tree line. Okay, now after that, right, I smoked a cigarette. Right? This is even more strange. I'm just trying to explain this. This is extraordinarily bizarre, this. So I smoked a cigarette and I flicked it. I've got a picture of it. I'm going to overlay the pictures. So I flicked a cigarette, okay? I've got a picture of it. And the smoke started rising up in a clear, hollow, transparent tube. Now I've uploaded the image on Twitter, but they've kind of degraded the quality of it, so I'm going to overlay it onto the video so you can see it clearly. So what happened when I flicked the cigarette after I had seen that extraordinary, I still don't know what it is. I'm going to speculate on what it is in a second. So I flicked my cigarette, right? I done that and it started spinning. It was like in slow motion. My cigarette went woof, 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 and just stuck in the ground upside down, okay? Like that, directly up. And I looked at it and a freaking exactly straight line, clear column of smoke started rising up from the cigarette. You see it in the image. And it was exactly like the column, the hollow cylinder, a column that I had just seen in the sky. It was exactly the same. This is absolutely extraordinarily bizarre. Right, so I'm not going to make this video long. Right, so here's what I've found out so far, is that it could be electrical in nature. It's a plasma column. Okay, it's a plasma column, but what is a plasma column doing hanging above the trees? And why did I see it? And I've searched on the internet and I can't find nothing about these things. I can't find no information whatsoever about plasma columns, apart from the Electric Universe. Because I was watching the Electrical Universe the other day and somebody was talking about gender figures, but it's not a nose. They said it was a hollow, transparent tube or cylinder which carried the power down. If you want to study these things. And what else I heard was somebody quoted that electrical phenomena is the electrical body of the planet. All electrical phenomena is the electrical body of the planet. Okay, so I still don't know what this thing is. I'm studying it right now. I've not seen anybody else reporting anything similar. You look on Google, type in plasma column, type in transparent hollow cylinder seen in the sky. See, there's a lot of traffic going by right now. It's quite early in the morning, all of a sudden. And you'll find nothing. Absolutely nothing. I've looked all over the internet and I can't even see anything about these transparent hollow cylinders being seen above the trees. What the heck did I see? What was that? I'm trying to figure it out. It's fascinating me. It's been thinking about it a lot recently. And I've been thinking about it and I've come to the conclusion that it's a very rare, it must be an extraordinarily rare thing to see. Even more so than UFOs and UAPs. You can hear all the cars going past right now all of a sudden. Sorry, trackers. I meant to say trackers, not cars. You know? Because it was nice and quiet before I pressed the video, but all of a sudden you've got loads of traffic going by, you know what I'm saying? So this sighting is extraordinarily gripped me, and I want to find out what it is, and I'm trying to study what it is. And basically I've come to the conclusion that it's some kind of electrical phenomenon. I've never seen anything like it, okay? And I wish I had have taken a picture of it. I had my camera with me, but it was just so faint. And I did look through the viewfinder of the camera, and it wasn't there. I could only see it with my, I could barely see it with my bare eyes, okay? And I knew for a fact that the camera wouldn't pick it up, but I wish I had have taken an image. I didn't take an image for some reason, okay? And that's why I had to recreate it in the CryEngine. And I tried to get the hollow cylinder type shape. I think I got it quite well, because it was basically just a hollow, transparent cylinder, okay? Coming from the sky, and it was sitting above the treetops. No, I just say it again, you could only barely see it against when a cloud went past. And I don't know how I seen this thing, because it was absolutely so faint. It was as if something, like nudged me to look at it. And as I said, I was cycling along and I was in my own world, just thinking about the stuff that was going on, you know? All the bullshit that was going on in my life at the time. And I just looked up and I seen a transparent hollow cylinder. I'm trying to study what these things are, because I've just got no clue apart from the electrical phenomenon. And I was watching, as I said, I'm just going to repeat what I said before. I was watching an Electrical Universe documentary, and the guy said, it was something from the Thunderbolts project, and the guy said the electrical phenomenon is the electrical body of the Earth. Okay, so this thing reached down and pinged me, bing, and I looked directly at it, and it's just caught my imagination and my attention, and I'm just blown away by it, because it's even more extraordinary than UFOs. UFOs are common, but this thing was something else, and I want to make sure I'm getting this across properly, okay? Of what I seen, and it's really, it's really puzzling me, and I just really want to talk about it first of all, which is why I'm going to make this short video, just talking about it. And I actually think it was further down. See, I took a picture of the trees at the time before I left, but the camera did not pick it up. So I recreated it in the CryEngine exactly how I seen it. You know, because I can recreate any kind of image I want. And I can recreate any kind of sound I want to, you know. So I'm a musician and I'm an artist, thankfully, because if I didn't, for instance, if I seen something, okay, and I didn't have my camera with me, I can recreate that. Accurately, and then represent and explain and show exactly what I seen, even though I haven't got a camera, which is quite handy to have that knowledge, you know. So I'm going to overlay the image of it, and you'll see it in the CryEngine. I couldn't get the kind of transparent effect properly. You know Crytek and the CryEngine, they've taken a lot of shaders out of the engine recently. The past 5 to 7 years, they've taken out a lot of shaders. They took out the cloak shader. I could have used the cloak shader on it and it would have been perfect, but the cloak shader's been removed. They removed a lot of stuff. They broke a lot of stuff too, you know. And in the picture that I recreated, it was kind of darker, but it's basically, I'm trying to explain it, and it was like a transparent hollow cylinder, and you could clearly see that it was a tube, a transparent hollow tube coming from the sky. It was just directly above the treetops. Okay, I'm just trying to speak about this, and it's just bizarre how I've seen it too. As if something like, do you know when you just look at something, you just turn around and see something. It was one of them type of moments. I've had a few of those moments in my life. Well, it happens all the time actually. You know? But and I looked directly at it too. Directly at it. So I was cycling along this path, and I was like 500 meters away from it. I must have been a good distance away from it. And I've just looked directly at it. Bing! I was like, what's that? Something caught my attention, okay? It was like a shape. Like some kind of shape in the sky. It caught my attention. I was just there at the right time. If I had have been pedaling any faster or any slower, I wouldn't have seen this thing, because a cloud was going past just at the time and you could only see it against the cloud. And so you could say that I was there at the right time in the right place. If I had have been going any slower or any quicker, I wouldn't have seen it. So it's basically one of those right time, right place type situations, and it's just really, it's really like, I'm fascinated by it, and I'm wanting to try and figure out what it is, but there's nothing to compare it with, because I can't find any information apart from the Electrical Universe guys talking about plasma columns. Okay, plasma columns from the polar configuration, where there was hollow tubes seen in the sky, and that's the only kind of information that I've seen about it. And I mean, you could try and surmise it could be some type of electrical exchange from the sky to the trees. You know, all these people walking along, they've all got Bluetooth in. I've just seen these 3 people walking along here and they've all had Bluetooth earphones in. How you doing, mate? You alright? He didn't even answer me there. I said hello, he didn't even say anything. You know, I think we're living in very, very strange times, if you've noticed. Very strange times. And I think it's the best time right now is to use your voice and to speak your truth. You know, and don't let anybody get in your way type situation. Say what you want to say, but see if you've got something not constructive or anything negative. Well, if you've got nothing constructive to say, then just shut up and don't say nothing, right? But see if you've got something genuine to talk about, then get out there and speak it. You need to say what you need to say what you feel. You need to say what's in your heart, or you start to feel ill. And I have been feeling that lately. I need to speak my truth, otherwise I feel fucking sick. So I'm not going to make this a long video. I just wanted to talk about that, okay? It's my first video on my new phone. It's an absolutely fantastic, extraordinary phone, this. The Samsung S21 Ultra. It's got a really amazing telescopic zoom on it. So if I see anything extraordinary, I can get a really good image of it and share it with the world. Okay? And I think that's about it. Because I'm not wanting to make... This phone is quite heavy too. I could hold it here I could go on and on and on, but it's quite a weight. And I don't want to make my videos too long either. I just want to say I hope you're all doing well. And don't let this situation get you down, because it's to motivate you. Okay? You're a fire and you need fuel. Okay, so you need to count your blessings and utilise the catalysts that's going on right now, and just use it for your own benefit. Okay? It's fuel for the fires. And I'm hoping I'm going to see this thing again, but I think it was a once in a lifetime sighting, and it's really grabbed my attention and my imagination, and I want to try and figure out what it is. Okay? So that's me signing off for now. I hope you're all doing well. Okay, take care. Look at the beautiful scenery here. You know, you want to get outside, get away from your computers and get outside into nature, make you feel better. I just thought I would add a couple of more things to this video before I go. It's just if you're on the right path in your life, and you know, like, you're seeing synchronicities and signs, that's proof. That's an indication that you're on the right path and that you're on the right timeline. And so, just talking about that video, about me cycling along the path and seeing that electrical phenomenon in the sky, just makes me think that I'm on the right timeline. I'm on the right timeline when I'm out and about, and or even anytime you're seeing synchronicities. Jeez, pick your rubbish up. I want to get more bins though. Can you please put more bins so people can put their rubbish away? I've been walking along this path and there's not one bin, and you can see there's a bag of rubbish there. The people are complaining about people making a lot of mess with rubbish, but by the way, you need to put more bins around so people can put their rubbish away. Anyway, yeah, so if you're experiencing synchronicities and things are happening that make you stop and wonder, and it's an indication that you're on the right path. Okay? Now, if you are not doing anything, then you will not get any signs. You will not... How you doing? You will not get any indications from yourself and from the world around you that you're on your right timeline. I just thought I would add that. I'm actually just walking down to an interesting place which has some interesting stones, and I just want to get them on video. So I'm just going to walk down here and talk while I'm walking down here. Okay? As I said, I've not made a video in a while because of my phone. I dropped my phone. Yeah, I dropped my phone in the lake while I was on my boat. I had it on. I'll tell you what happened. I had my phone. I've had that phone for a long time. You know, it served me really well. I've been trying to fix it. I've got new battery, I need to get a new screen, but I've got new parts for it. But there's I snapped a flex cable, so I snapped the flex cable, and I'm having to buy an entire new screen. Look at the zoom on this. having to buy an entire new screen just to fix the phone. And so I've seen the specs for this S21 Ultra, and I was like, I want that phone. This phone was made for me. Even when I got it, I got it from EE, and on the front of it, it says extraordinary. Which is I've got a folder on my PC where I put all my extraordinary images that I've taken, and it's called Extraordinary. So I was on my boat, and I had my phone on my lap, and I was distracted. I was distracted by some jet skis because they were flying by me at the time, and I flying really close to my boat. I was like, gonna fucking move your jet skis out, gonna keep your boat away from my boat, because I was only on a small vessel. And I've stood up. I've went to the beach to just go to land for a couple of seconds, and I've stood up and I've had my phone on my lap, and so I've stood up and the phone's fell into the water, and I didn't realise that, and so it was lying in the water for about 6 minutes, and so it suffered water damage. The buttons were acting haywire, and the touch screen was all erratic, and so I had to get a new phone. Okay, so that's that. It's just to end this video, you know, because I just want to I wanted to just talk about timelines, and it just occurred to me there that you know, see when you get in these signs and these gates open for you, then you are on the right timeline. And I mean, you can go off your track for a while, right? For whatever reason. Okay, depression, anxiety, loneliness. All the time you're trying to process the abuse in your life. That can take time. Give yourself time to process all that. Okay? It's just important to get through all your abuse that you've suffered and use it to your advantage, and don't let it get you down type of situation, and that can take away some of your time, and during that time you might not, you are on the right timeline at that time, but you might not experience, I don't want to say it like that, but I think you know what I mean anyway. So this park, this is Tobias. I could go and look at the sign up there. There's a sign. It's Tobias. He's a famous Smollett, 2 T's. He's a famous architect and a poet. He had brothers, and they all came here, like in the 1800s, and built a lot of structures and brought a lot of stuff with them. Well, this is one of his parks, and you see here the 7 stones. The 7 stones here. Now, see this park, by the way, it's not on any maps. Well, it's on Google Maps, but there's no information about this park. Okay? I found this a couple of years ago here. Right, you've got mad forts. I don't know what that is, but there's something round there. I'll have a look at that in a second. But it's basically an abandoned, it's old structures, but this caught my eye a couple of years ago, right? It's 7 stones. 7 stones in a circle. You can see here it's the remains of some kind of ancient structure. And so this could be some type of like room or worshipping place of worship or whatever. But see this stone is triangular. Look at it, right? It's triangular. You can see it from the top, and it looks exactly like the stone that I found, that I was guided to pick up that night on the beach in the pitch black, where it was pitch black, and I knelt down. Something done that, and I knelt down and picked something up as if and it was exactly the same shape as this, and I've got that stone on my but I think this is amazing. Now you can see that it's obviously the remains of some type of ancient structure. There's a lot of glass here. I think so, a lot of the youngins come here and smoke and drink. There's a lot of glass. It's a cool place to come, you know. I don't know what type of stone this is. I would like to know what, is it granite? Let me just show you if there's anybody watching who knows what different types of rocks look like. Well, here's the type of rock it is. I've not got a clue. Is it slate? Right, I'll just show you, because I think this is a significant place here. If you just want to see what type of rocks these are. I don't know if they're local rocks. Okay. Now, see the one in the middle? That one. It's triangular. Can you see it? Look at it. Right? Now that's been deliberately shaped that way, hasn't it? Because the other stones are just big boulders. And if you know anything about boulders and ancient legends about boulders, that they could contain entities, you don't want to mess with them either. You don't want to disrespect them either, right? Yeah, so see this is triangular. Look at that. That's purposely, it's purposely shaped in the shape of a triangle. Look at it. Look at this. I can't find any information about this site either, and even the front sign has been removed. But if you look on Google Maps, you know this is Renton, Alexandria, West Dunbartonshire. I could put the coordinates on the map if anybody wants to like have a look at it. But there's no information about what this place is. I think it's been forgotten and suppressed, and there's just no information about it whatsoever. I've came here a few times and tried to ask the locals, like, do you have any idea what these stones are? And they're like, no, we don't. You know, it's just a park that they come through on a daily basis and they think nothing of it, basically. Let's just walk through here. Let's see what else is here. So what else we've got here? We've got a log here. I don't know if this is new. I don't know if this is new or what. You can see there's a metal support for the chair. I think that could be relatively new. Okay, you've got these stone walls. There was something around here. Like, I mean, look at the tiles and all that, look. Look at the stones. It's a very intricate tile work. And so this is the remains of some type of building, some type of place of worship or something. You've got more stones here, and you can tell that it was some kind of decorated floor. You see that? You see that? There's a fish. See that table there? It's in the shape of a fish, and it looks quite old. You can see the base of it is just wood. I don't know if they could have been added in the 70s, the 60s or the 80s, I don't know, but I don't think it's the same age. Well, then again, it might be, it could be, you know. This could be an original, but I don't know, I doubt it. I doubt that this seat is the same age as the surrounding structure. Oh, look at this. There's a dolphin. I've not seen that before. That's intricately designed, the floor. Look at that, there's a dolphin thing. Or is it a fish? Is it just a fish? Okay, so maybe they were like paying homage to the fish, because this is like a lake town, and I take it back in the day that the fish and fed the people and sustained the area, and so they kind of worshipped the and paid respect to the water, you know, and maybe that's why they've got some designs embedded into the floor plan here, and you can see that. I mean, it could be just a park, right? Sorry, like some kind of outdoor. Because see, when I'm looking here, this doesn't look like a wall. But then again, it might be. I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to. That might have been a raised wall, but it looks just as if it's an outline. So this could just have been an outside area, and there was maybe other big houses around this area, and this was just an outside place where people could come out and spend some time and pay homage to whatever. But I mean, in Western Bartonshire, the Tobias Smollett is a kind of famous character from history, and I don't know that much about them, but they were very rich and affluent people, and they were poets. They were great people, and they've come here and they've designed a lot of things. But what I know about them is that this is their park. They designed this park. You got some ambient noise. That's the police. Oh, they don't like talking about history and things that they want you to forget about. They just want you to sit in front of your TV and be a zombie. No thanks, mate. And keep all your abuse inside and don't deal with it. Don't go outside talking about history. Sit on your arse and be sorry for yourself. And hurt everyone around you and be a moany old arsehole and no use to society. Right? Don't go outside talking about history and trying to explore the world that you're living in and understand the place that you're living in. No! No! Okay, be a sorry soul. Right, so I think that's it. I'm not going to make these videos too long. Okay, I think we've just about covered that. Okay. You know, there's a lot of interesting places all around. If you just have a look, I think all local towns and local places have got interesting history just waiting to be discovered. Okay, because I mean, I came along this path a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, what's up here? Just exploring the place. And it was round about the time that I found that stone on that beach and it looked like a triangle. And I come across this and I was like, it just caught my attention. And as I said, I tried to study about what this area was and I couldn't find much information. But there you go. There's a lot of hidden in plain sight. I mean, that's in plain. How in plain sight can you get? You know? I mean, I bet you people walk past this every day and they just think. They just take it for granted, you know, because they see them every day. But there's something significant here. And I was also going to say that these Tobias people, or they had some kind of experience. Okay, these Tobias Smollett, 2 T's, Smollett, right? They've had some kind of experience. So they have, because it's written all over everything they've done in this town. And it's clear as day that they had some type of interaction because it's written in stone. Can you see it right there? It's plain as day. A lot of different people have had an experience, and they kind of, what you tend to do, because you know this world kind of is resistant towards certain things, you know, and you need to approach it the right way. And putting your experiences in your art is often subconscious, by the way. I've found, and I'm talking from experience here, is often subconscious. And but sometimes you need to just put it out there, plain as day. I mean, there you've got 7 stones, and then the centre stone is some type of triangular formation there. It's absolutely fascinating, and it just makes you think. Like, I mean, if you know, you know, right? So that's it. I'm signing off right now. I've got things to do. You know, you want to explore your local town, and so there's a lot of interesting things around. You know, you just need to get out there, and never mind all the nonsense that's going on right now. It is actually to motivate you, but you need to get past all the trauma first. You know, and if you can do that, then you're an absolute champion. If you can get past all the trauma that they put you through, you know, everything happens for a reason. Don't dwell on things, because if you're in a good place and you've come through the tunnel, okay, because it's a tunnel. If you come through that tunnel in a better place than where he was, then don't look back in anger. Do you know what I'm saying?